The definition of the word the standard. To establish as an industry model and a measurement of quality. The focus of the show The Standard is where we globally connect all those who have realized and attained achievement with changing the culture by controlling the narrative. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Standard News, the section of the Standard where we cover real-world topics going on around the world. 77-year-old Joe Biden gave his first speech as President of the United States at 8 p.m. Saturday, November 2nd, way past his bedtime. I've never seen an event that could be celebrated worldwide at the same time, and of all things, it's about Joe Biden. Now a lot of people from different countries are asking, who's Joe? Ladies and gentlemen, the Joe Mama joke is coming back. Bangladesh team wins award for anti-cyberbullying, app, which is an app that basically gives you step-by-step instructions on how to close your phone and laptop. North Korea is trying to tackle smoking, but Kim Jong-un is a heavy smoker, and so does half the male population in North Korea. And I kid you not, this is the picture in the article they posted this. I don't know where's the picture. Yeah, there's the picture. Tell me why the dictator of North Korea looks like he wants to go up. Tell me why the dictator of North Korea looks like he just woke up from a dream about falling. Tell me why the dictator of North Korea looks like he lost balance sitting down. Just tell me why. This is crazy. Anyways, this has been Standard News. I'm your host, David Antonio DeJesus, and I shall see you next today is Mr. Dion German, sports broadcaster. Hi, my name is David Antonio DeJesus, and I'm here with Dion German, amazing sports broadcaster and 49ers fan, local 49ers fan. And we are here. How does Dion German meet the standard? Man, he has made amazing sports
content.
Exactly. On the YouTubes, and I love his content and just watching everything that he does.
Okay.
Yes, on his content. And anyways, is there anything you have to say now?
Hi, my name is Dion. I have a YouTube channel called DJ No Sports.
Mm-hmm.
And
And before I like to get into the questions, I just want to tell a story. A story that happened with you in middle school that I just thought I'd bring up.
I know exactly what you're going to say, dude.
So, me and Dion, we tried out for basketball one year, and this man, for basketball practice, I'm just catching and throwing the balls. But this man, Dion, is going crazy on the court. He is crossing people up. He scored you scored like 3 3-pointers.
This is like 7th grade,
yes.
So I really don't remember.
And the craziest part is that you did not make the basketball team.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That was insane. And I remember just laughing because you went home crying.
I did not cry, dude. You've been saying that since 7th grade. I did not go home and cry.
Everybody said you went home and
David
cried.
I did not go home and cry. I was just upset I didn't make the team, but I didn't cry.
It was said that you cried.
No.
Dude, I saw you cry.
No.
I saw you go home with your mom.
I was not crying. So, anyways.
Okay.
I wasn't crying.
Okay. But
All right. What got you into sports broadcasting?
I guess originally I've always like enjoyed watching sports, whether it be basketball or football. So I don't know. I like the idea that you can get paid for simply just watching and talking about sports. So yeah, that's what really got me into it.
So everyone can tell that everyone can tell if you're biased or not. But who is your favorite football team?
As you said in the intro, favorite football team is the 49ers, best team in the league. And my favorite NBA team is the Miami Heat. We're going to the finals next year, so just putting everybody on notice. But yeah, I think everyone has like their own favorite team, but in broadcasting, it's important to not show that you're super biased, because that's how you lose credibility. So I like to keep it neutral, but for the most part, those are my favorite teams, so I gotta defend them.
Who do you think has lost credibility based on bias?
I think everyone knows Skip Bayless. He's on Fox now. But yeah, Skip Bayless, he's just a meme now.
Isn't he a Cowboys fan?
Yeah, everyone knows he always talks about my Dallas Cowboys, whatever. But yeah, I think he's lost credibility because he's just always talking about the Cowboys. He never, I guess, judges them fairly. He always thinks every Cowboys fan knows that every year they say this year is our year, but they never even make the playoffs. So
Yeah. And who looks the most Super Bowl bound to you? That's this for Steelers.
Well, the Steelers aren't making the Super Bowl. Sorry to tell you. Y'all are really good though. 8-0. Y'all are good. Y'all have some potential, but I think it's between the Chiefs and the Seahawks this year for me. I think the Chiefs are gonna repeat.
Yeah, the Seahawks are going crazy. But did you hear Big Ben got is quarantined?
He is?
Yeah, because TJ Watt had COVID, so that's another season.
Yeah, the whole NFL season with COVID and everything, it's been very interesting to watch how certain teams have like lost key players during games due to COVID. Yeah. I wonder how they're going to handle it in the playoffs too.
Especially like with the four of the Tennessee Titans that got COVID, and then they just
shut down the whole facility.
Yeah, but then a week later they went right back to playing football.
Yeah, it's interesting because I hope this doesn't happen, of course, but like imagine come playoff time, someone like Patrick Mahomes gets hurt in like the AFC Championship, and then he can't play obviously because of COVID. But I hope the NFL does a better job of trying to keep everybody safe.
Do you still hold a grudge against Patrick Mahomes?
It's a tiny grudge because he beat us. It's a little salt in the wound there, but it's all right. He's still cool, I guess. Yeah, he's all right.
All right, and for you, in your opinion, who has the most reliable fan base in football?
That's a tough question. I don't know. I think Falcon fans, growing up in Atlanta for the past decade or so, Falcon fans are very loyal, especially after 28-3.
Yeah. You wouldn't say Browns fans?
Actually, yeah. Browns fans are probably the most loyal fan base because they haven't been good since 70s, 80s, and it's just a bunch of trash throughout that whole organization.
Yeah.
And the fact that they still have a loyal fan base says a lot.
And then they finally upgraded to decent, and now they're...
Yeah.
In your opinion, do you think, as a 49ers fan, do you think Colin Kaepernick was a good quarterback?
Okay, now, yes, Colin Kaepernick was a good quarterback. Like when he first started for us, he took us to the Super Bowl, obviously. Then after that, he took us back to the NFC chip. So I think he was a good quarterback, but he did start to decline a bit. But he should not have been blackballed by the NFL. And I do think that he should have at least a backup quarterback position, because there's plenty of quarterbacks in the league now that just don't deserve to play football ever again. But I think that he does deserve a job. But at the same time, towards the end of his stint with the 49ers, he wasn't as good of a quarterback. So I do think that releasing him was the right thing to do. And what a lot of people forget is, towards the end, there was a lot of drama like in the front office between him and the coaching staff and the GMs and everybody in terms of like his contract situation. So it was just a lot going on there, and then he wasn't playing good, so I think releasing him was the right move. But I do think that he should be in the NFL right now because he's not a bum. You know, there's guys like Nathan Peterman who threw like 4 picks in a game, and he still has a job. So I do think that he should be in the league.
Is Tyrod Taylor still in the league?
Yeah, he was supposed to start for the Chargers this year, but one of the Chargers trainers like did something with his ribs and like hurt him. So then Justin Herbert started, or he's starting now for the Chargers, but it was supposed to be Tyrod Taylor.
Tyrod just can't get it.
Yeah, I don't know what happened. He was a backup for a couple years, and then he was finally going to start this year, but then the trainer messed up his ribs, so it's just unfortunate for him.
I mean, but Tyrod Taylor, he wasn't really a good when it came to throwing the ball.
Yeah, he wasn't like I guess he doesn't have an elite arm talent, but he's a solid guy. He can get the job done in my opinion.
He just wasn't that good for the Browns.
Oh yeah, I do remember when he played for the Browns. Then he got replaced by Baker. Then he goes to the Chargers, gets replaced by another rookie. So it's very unfortunate for him.
Very unfortunate for Tyrod. And if you had anything to say to anyone who wants to get into sports broadcasting, what would you tell them?
I would just say, guys, I guess work on your craft. I know it's hard being like for sports broadcasting because, you know, in order to get better, you kind of have to get in debates with people. But I think just make sure you're watching the games, know who everybody is, and then even what I try to do sometimes is just like I follow a lot of sports pages, so I just go in the comments and then just try to find a debate with somebody just to make sure that, you know, you can, I guess, work on your craft in terms of like making sure you know all the other players, know the stats and everything. So when it comes to that, just try to work on your craft in like as many ways as possible. And also, I think in my opinion, what people in, I guess, my field or whatever is doing now is start a YouTube channel. To me, if you have a phone and something to edit off of, you can start a YouTube channel. Just, you know, write a script, start recording something, and just go off that, you know, and just try to work on your craft as much as you can.
Exactly. And you said because you talk a lot of crap about your 49ers. You do. So much. And
of course.
It's really annoying. So like that feeling when the 49ers won the when the Kansas City Chiefs won the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
That was an amazing feeling to me.
Yeah.
It was even more great when you were so mad and you remember you had me in a headlock.
I don't remember that actually.
And I said, "This is for the Patrick Mahomes."
No, I don't remember that at all.
Yeah, and then we were on the bus, and then you don't remember that?
No.
You don't remember?
It's false.
You remember?
Fake news.
Okay.
I know what he's talking about.
But yeah, that happened, and but also at the same time, you knew what you were talking about.
Yeah.
A lot of the time, most of the time.
I don't miss.
Sometimes. You did miss when you said you were going to Super Bowl.
I don't miss.
You did.
But anyways.
You did. But, so, do you ever lose arguments when you're arguing?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, you lose. I think that's part of the whole experience of becoming a sports broadcaster. You can't win every debate, you can't win every argument. But after every one, you kind of you have to learn from it, and, you know, I kind of just look back, okay, what did I miss here? Like, you know, sometimes I'll get a stat wrong or like a prediction wrong in general. So it's all about, you know, just learning from it and then, you know, just trying to get better after that. So yeah, you don't win every argument. And I think what I would also tell people is like, if you lose a debate or an argument, you know, don't get discouraged or anything. You know, just try to learn from it. Isn't even the best, you know, lose a bit sometimes or get a prediction wrong.
You'll be on arguments all the time. All the time.
I don't miss.
You heard it here, folks. Dion does not miss. And this has been The Standard with Jermon.
go.
And we shall see you next time. My second guest for today is Mr. Amari, cinematographer, screenwriter, and photographer. Hi, welcome to The Standard. I am David Antonio DeJesus, your host, here with the infamous Amari Akua. How does Amari Akua meet the standard, you ask? Well, he is a how many time award winning?
I want to say 7.
Time, and then the year before?
1.
8-time film festival winner, screenwriter, cinematographer, cameraman. That falls underneath cinematographer.
It really does.
You take pictures, amazing pictures. Photographer, that's what I'm looking for. And is there anything else you do?
Just vibe, mostly.
And this is how that man meets the standard. And that's why he's on this show today. My first question I will ask you is, who is your inspiration for everything you do regarding a camera?
I didn't even I didn't really follow any like photographers or historical figures that really inspired me. I kind of just did what I felt like, what just came naturally to me. I didn't look at this person and be like, okay, I want to see what I could do with this style. I just sort of did what I felt looked nice and just kind of kept going from there. And like obviously since then I've been watching like, I don't know, like photography YouTube channels, you know, looking into photographers like Gordon Parks who do what they do.
What photography YouTube channels? What do you look for in those photography YouTube channels?
Well, I really just watch them for tips, but you know, like I'd see some Lightroom tricks that I could do. Like Adobe Lightroom is the editing software I use for my pictures, so
yeah,
you know, I look up techniques and stuff. Then I just make my own thing.
And what is your technique when it comes to taking your pictures?
So first, before I even hold the camera up to my face, I just look at what I want to see. And if I know where I'm going to be before I pull up there, I'm going to think about all the things I want to get. So if I'm doing a conference shoot, I'd like to have like pictures of the room, or I'd like to go to the room before the conference so I can think of all my angles. Think about where I want to position myself, what lenses I'm going to use, all the lighting. So, you know, I pull up there and I envision it, and then I start trying to take the pictures. So that's always do the vision first before you try to start making things fun.
So you see it ahead of time, and then so you see it ahead of time, so you already have everything planned out before you.
Yeah.
But what if, like, say the weather or something just starts acting up, or like?
Well, that's when photography skills really need to come in handy, because one time I was at I think Southwest DeKalb Library. Somebody was doing a lecture there, and you know, I was getting paid to take pictures there.
Yeah.
You know, 15 minutes in, going good, and then they're like, we can't see the projector. We need to turn off all the lights. And so I just sat in the back of the room like, oh, okay, y'all trying to make me lose my job. Y'all trying to make me cry.
Yeah.
So let me see what I could do to fix this. So what I did was one of my camera settings, and I just recently purchased a camera that's really good in low light. So I did all the settings that I needed to do. You know, widened my aperture, lowered my shutter speed, boosted my ISO. Got a 50 millimeter 1.8 lens.
Okay.
Got up and I did my thing, and those pictures turned out better than they would have if the lights were on.
Yeah.
So you got to make sure that you know what you're doing with your equipment before you start going in, because then if some random element throws you off, you're not going to do a good job.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah. And okay, how do you with your scripts? How do you find inspiration when you're making your scripts?
So when I'm making my scripts, when I care about it, I've already come in with an idea. If I'm making scripts on a deadline, I just look around the room. I feel through my pockets.
That's how you do it.
I listen to music. I read an article. I do something to get ideas. For my very first film I did for my film class in RCA, is called The Bigger Picture. It's like it's about like a pencil, and like, because the project was we had to do personification of an inanimate object and make it like, you know, show emotion. So it was like of a pencil and how it's like, you know, getting drawn with, and you know, it's like sort of metaphor for like feeling beat down or whatever, and it's getting sharpened and all that stuff's getting like stuff torn off of it. but at the end it makes like a beautiful picture. So it's like the bigger picture is you get, you know, torn down and thrown around your whole life, but it's, you know, it's for a good bigger picture. I had to think of that in 15 minutes because class was almost over. So what I did was I put my hands in my pockets and I was like, what do I feel? Chapstick, gum, my phone, earbuds, pencil. And I started thinking about the pencil. How can I personify that? And then I just typed down that idea, got home, did the script, and I filmed it.
That was beautiful, Amari.
Thank you.
Thank you. And also, how did it feel winning your first award for your passion?
That was, I don't think I knew it was my passion until then.
What?
Because I was, you know, growing up, everybody in our generation watched YouTube. So like, you know, you see YouTube, you're like, how'd they do that effect? I want to do that like that. And you know, I thought it was cool that I was making films. I didn't know it was my passion until I won that award. And I was like, oh, people actually like this.
Yeah.
People say that, because my first documentary, I know it's a long-winded title, but I don't like old English literature. That's my first documentary.
Yeah, I'm an OG fan, so I know this.
I'll tell them for the people.
Okay, sure.
But basically, people were saying that I like sort of switched around the way that a documentary was made, and that just sort of blew my mind because I just sort of did it how I felt was necessary. I had, you know, like about a 5-minute segment at the front where I talked about it. I showed pictures and had like little comedic things thrown in, and then the last 5 minutes were interviews, some questions that I asked from 3 teachers and 3 students about whether they like old English literature and whether it has a place in the school system.
Yeah.
And so going through all that and then having it pay off so well just sort of told me that is what I want to do.
Your whole documentary by itself was, I loved it. When my mom was there, she enjoyed like watching it and everything, and everybody enjoyed it, which is what I loved. It just seeing you in your zone, kind of when you were on your thing, because we were already friends before, but like just like seeing us up there and just us taking questions and everything, and then
yeah, being in our zone. Me too, because like, you know, we knew each other. We weren't friends, but we were friends. And like, when I see you doing what you're passionate about, and you talking about that, I was like, oh, he's serious about what he's doing. And that was really cool. That was just a cool night.
Yeah.
Just us on the stage taking questions.
It was amazing.
And it's not going in there, right?
No, of course.
Yeah.
And okay. And also, what got you into filmmaking besides you?
Well, I was interested in photography, and sort of photography is an extension of film in a way, and the film is an extension of photography in a way, because you get modern cameras now, they can shoot and take pictures. That wasn't always the case, but now, if the ability to shoot a movie is there, you're kind of doing yourself a disservice if you don't explore every asset that your camera has. So I get my camera, I'm taking pictures, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna start shooting videos of some beautiful scenes that I do.
Yeah.
I'm gonna edit those together to my favorite music or whatever, make it for me. And then I'm like, okay, now I wanna tell stories. Because, you know, I'm not just gonna sit here and make edits all the time. And I'm like, I think I can go somewhere with this. And I just kept practicing.
Because don't you do a lot of editing for your parents' friends and stuff like that?
Yeah, I do something for my parents' friends, a few clients that I bring in, for my dad. Yeah, for myself. I'm editing like usually let's say 20 hours a week.
And also, what advice would you give someone who wants to get into filmmaking?
Use those stimulus checks to buy a camera. Just once you get into filmmaking, use what you got. Use what you got. That's my biggest thing. Because I made stop motion films when I was 12. My Nintendo 3DS. Did you have a Nintendo 3DS?
Of course.
Did you know the stop motion feature on there?
Of course.
I would line up my Legos and I would do stop motion on the thing. I lost the SD card because I'm an idiot. So I sold it to GameStop without taking the SD card out. I would, do stop motion on my Lego figurines. I would filmmake on my Lego 3DS. Nintendo 3DS. So if you have anything that takes video, even anything that takes pictures, you can make a film. You can make a film.
Because I also have a story So for okay, was it like a month ago or 2 months ago when we were receiving our awards?
May.
Yeah, in May. So
like a full 5 months.
you won 7 awards, right?
Yeah.
And I won 2 awards. I won 2 nice awards.
There's no need to.
And they were like, "Let's get a picture." And so I was like, okay. And Amari was like, "David, can you hold some of my awards?" I won awards too, Amari, but you know.
It was for my picture.
Yeah,
I'd hold your award.
It was for your picture.
I needed multiple people to hold
and
my award.
yes, and I was I was your competition.
Well,
and I ended up holding your awards.
I like to think of you as my partner in crime.
You are.
But also my competition.
Yeah, but.
Well, if anything, if you're my competition, isn't like the ultimate flex to make you hold my award?
Yes, it is. That's why I'm saying this.
Well, yeah, you know, it is what it is.
It is what it is.
No hard feelings?
No hard feelings. But this has been Amari Akua, and thank you so much for watching.
Ladies and gentlemen, what you are about to witness is a song written by this station's #1 artist, Big Standard. It's a song described a boy and a girl. But the boy is a little young for the girl, but that doesn't stop their love from flourishing. Anyways, I really hope you enjoy this song.
Our hearts are in the book bag. Our hearts are in the book bag. Our hearts are in the book bag.
And it's zipped
Our
up.
hearts are in the book bag.
And it's zipped
Our
up.
hearts are in the book
The
bag.
zipper is stuck.
Our hearts are in the book bag.
And it's zipped up.
Our hearts are in the book bag.
Can you unzip it for me, please? Girl, I said girl, I'm standing right here, girl. Don't ignore me, girl. Oh, your hearing aid is off. I'm sorry, so sorry. You got beautiful blue eyes, girl. It must be the cataracts. I can see me and you chilling in my Cadillac. When we're kissing, one hand is on my heart, the other is on the life alert. Your pruny hands are on my shirt. I will not take your $50 for plugging your HDMI. It's not complicated. Plug it inside the wall, then stick it in the TV. No, you don't need a new remote, you just need new batteries. No, you don't need a new Alexa, just call her Alexa. I hate it when we fight over technology. It's just you try to fix everything by screaming. Just go back to your game of Sudoku, and I'll be there in 5 to fix the Roku.
Our hearts are in the book bag. 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 Our hearts are.
Baby girl, is that steak too tough? Let me chew it for you, and then I'll feed you like a baby bird, girl.
Man, that song was beautiful, wasn't it? You know what this song reminds me of? Those drug commercials. Where like, you know, the drug commercials that are for like the elderly or adult women and men, where they talk about the side effects for 50% of the commercial, even though they're saying the side effects at 50 miles an hour. You know, those commercials. Like, side effects may include constant swelling, constant reticulosis, constant psoriasis, constant urge of wanting to shop at Home Depot, constant swelling of the mouth, feet, eyes, and hair, and also occurrence of death, and also foaming of the mouth or belly button on occasions. Tell me why these commercials are like basically selling an unfinished product. I don't know, why would they sell this if 30% is, if it's a 30%? People who pretend they are something that they're not, you know? That ticks me off more than anything. Because it's also scary. It's scary to see people who pretend that they are pretend that they are this or not. Like the rapper, you know, Kid Boo. Have you ever heard of him? The SoundCloud rapper that's basically the epitome of the story "Fake it till you make it." Like he has he pretended he had a clone for a while, and this is like a couple of years ago, but you know, like he faked like he was like 22, but like he got dug up. They dug up information on him saying that he was like 35, and he has a kid and a wife, or a girlfriend that doesn't allow him to see his kid or wants him to see his kid. Now she does, because he was beating on her with his fist in the past. You know, I really don't understand fakers. Like, you know, one thing, and it's like, they scare me, you know, like this.
I love you like a love song, baby. I love you like a love song, baby.
You weren't supposed to see that. This has been topics that do not meet the standard.
Dude, whose idea was it to show that footage? Somebody's getting fired, then backhanded today, okay? You don't know where I'm from. I'm a Conyers convict, alright? Ooh, something. Oh! Alright, fellas. As you know, we have a new president.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, what are you guys looking most forward to for him to do for us as the youth for the future, next 4 years, potentially?
Amari, you want to go first?
I was gonna ask you the same thing. Okay, I'll go first. I wouldn't say that I'm excited. I'm gonna say that I'm at least optimistic, because it's better than what we've had, and the fact that before he's even gotten in office, I mean, he won, but technically he's not in office yet. But he's already got plans for COVID. He's got plans for unemployment. You know, he's you know, saying all these plans. And my brother the other day said something interesting. He was just like, I miss the flowery, inspirational speeches or, you know, messages that the president used to send out. Because Trump, he's either attacking somebody or just yelling some nonsense or throwing all these dog whistles out. But, you know, Biden's like, we're one America, all that stuff. I know that's all just rhetoric, but it just feels good and it feels more safe. And I'm just looking forward to what can be accomplished for black people and just the middle class and the working class.
Yeah. The president does spam my phone with Twitter.
Yeah, I don't even got notifications on. I just go on his Twitter but did you see that if you look up loser on Twitter, he's the first result?
Really?
Yes. Look up loser on Twitter, go to people, he's the first result.
He was a sore loser.
He's still a sore loser. He's not going to concede anytime soon.
Yeah, I heard that his wife even said, like, you know, it's time to give up. But
right. His wife started moving out before the vote was called.
Before it was even over.
She knows
like
she knows what's going on. She's trying to get back to her Florida mansion.
Outside the White House.
Literally right outside the front, in the front lawn. She wasn't trying to cover it up
trying
either.
to keep it a secret that she was leaving.
So good.
Wow.
I think I'm also looking forward to what he's doing in terms of COVID, because I know that President Trump did such a poor job of like keeping it under control. But he's always, like, when I tuned in, I think he's always talking about the economy and all that. But I don't know, it's like he inherited a good economy from Obama, but he's always flexing it as if, you know, he started it from scratch. But I think what I'm really looking forward to is what Biden is going to do for COVID, and, you know, trying to keep everybody safe and keep the number of deaths down. But yeah.
A lot of the Trump rallies, they were just crazy, insane, just spreading COVID. And also one thing that really ticked me off about the Trump rallies and just Trump supporters in general. Trump acted like rappers were the head of the black community.
Lil Pimp.
Like Lil Pimp. And Lil Pimp went up there and he could barely even read what he was saying.
Exactly. And also, he's not even black.
Yeah.
He's Hispanic.
Hispanic.
He's Hispanic.
Lil Pimp.
Lil Pimp.
He's trying so hard to stay relevant. It's actually amazing.
Yeah.
You guys.
The only reason he's supporting him is because of Biden's tax bills. Like, I ain't paying all those taxes, and now he's showing up.
But it's like, he's always flexing that he's rich, but he's concerned about, the taxes and everything.
Yeah.
It's very weird.
But one thing that I also do find that was weird, that I was watching this video and this guy said it. Black people take up 13% of America. And they stress black people to get out and vote all the time. But like if a black person were to vote, regardless of whatever, if like 13% and the rest is taken up by white people and minorities, like it's not really gonna do as much as we were if every single one of us were to band together.
Yeah, but the thing you gotta remember is there's a lot of black people who just don't vote. They just don't vote because, I don't know why. I really don't, because a lot of them are like, whatever happens in this country, no matter who the president is, we're still gonna be, shot in the street or whatever. And while that may be true, the person you choose is definitely gonna affect how things change. Like, you can't make change with Donald Trump in office. He passed an executive order a few months ago during the George Floyd killings, sort of on the low, that if you were to make any anti-government or anti-patriotic stuff, like in favor of Black Lives Matter, then it was deemed unpatriotic, and I wouldn't be supported by government funds. So, like, if there is, so my dad, he's a Black History speaker. So then Donald Trump passed that. If the schools are still like, having them speak, because we can't because COVID right now, if they would have to stop, because it would be an executive order that government facilities like public schools can't fund that type of stuff. So then you're taking out, so he's like banning Afrocentric history stuff. It's just so many stuff, but who you have in office, greatly depends, greatly determines what you can get done. So I'm sure Joe Biden, even if he doesn't get rid of it, he probably will, but even if he doesn't, it'll be easy to get other things, past the Biden administration.
I read something, I think it was Andrew Yang who said, this is going to be 4 years of rebuilding.
I don't think much progress is going to be done because there's so much to reverse. There's still, the Muslim ban is still in place. It's still in place.
And I also did some research. President Trump put on something, Obama made digging in the Arctic illegal, but then I think it was for oil or something?
Fracking.
Yeah, exactly. And he legalized that again.
Right.
So now we're continuously digging until this is illegal. This is also one terrible problem for climate change.
Yeah, Trump has made irreversible damage to climate change, and it's gone completely unchecked.
Yeah.
So.
And that is crazy.
Yeah, that's why I'm going to enjoy watching him kicking and screaming, being dragged out of the White House over the next few months. It's going to be so satisfying.
I think he already said he's trying to get his campaign for 2024. Kanye's running too again, so.
Did y'all see that tweet where he was like, well, Kanye 2024, and it just showed the map of him just not having any votes?
I think it's crazy. Kanye got 40,000 ballots in Kentucky.
In Kentucky?
Yeah.
He got 40,000.
40,000 ballots in Kentucky.
I think he had like 55 total, if I'm not mistaken.
I think the total was 66, but I mean,
either way, like, Kentucky took up.
Took up a good percentage. 80%. Oh my god!
And he was showing it off on his phone and stuff like that, and then he made a political trailer, which was pretty funny.
Wait, when did that come out?
It came out like I thought I saw it on Instagram when I was scrolling through, and it was an ad.
I remember Kanye's political trailer came out like a month and a half before election day. It's like he really started getting into election 2 months before. You can't expect to make any waves when you do one rally cry and then leave and don't do any more rallies.
Yeah, dude.
And then make one ad a month and a half before election. I don't know what he expected.
Because
Yeah.
it was pretty funny. Out of all the people who were, half of them couldn't even vote because half of them were kids that were doing it. And there was this one guy that was sitting there. He had every season of Yeezy behind him.
Oh my god.
And he had like
The other ad was like, why I'm voting for Kanye?
Yes. He's like, he's a family man, he's a good Samaritan. Even though Kanye has his Yeezys and military vehicles. Have you seen those?
I've seen those. Those things
I
are
haven't
crazy.
seen them.
They're not exactly military, but they're just like, they're like all-terrain things because he's in Wyoming, but big old bulky, interesting vehicles.
They are crazy. They are basically these big, they look like beetles. Trailing the streets. Let me see. And they have like huge...
Yeezy trucks.
Yes.
Oh wait,
Those
what?
are them.
Oh, those?
Yes. And we will show a picture. And
Oh, these are called Yeezy trucks?
yes,
Oh my
they go
God.
down the streets and they go to all places. They go to an Adidas and they drop the shoes off. Yes. And this is Kanye is also one of the 1%. This is what they do with their money.
What is he even doing?
It is insane.
It was looking good when he like got that big plot of land in Wyoming, because that's land for black people.
Mhm.
But it's like, what are you doing, dog? I don't even know what he's doing anymore.
Yeah.
Yeezy trucks.
But what do you think? So where were you guys? What was going through your head when Joe Biden was giving his
Bruh,
speech?
I was in the SAT test, bruh.
Yeah, I was doing like ACT like practice work while this whole thing was going on.
It was just so underwhelming because I was like just slaving away in this SAT facility,
Yeah.
and I'm all pissed because I probably failed the math section. And I walk out and I check my phone, and then I get notifications like, you know, the race has been called Joe Biden, and I was like, okay, sure, whatever. But then like really hit me because I was getting home. I was like, yo, I can breathe now. Like it's just.
I
Yeah,
think
it's
like
crazy.
this election is like when I guess the youth has been invested the most, because like during the whole thing you like scroll through Instagram, all social media, you just see a bunch of people our age just like getting into it, kind of making jokes out of the whole thing. And I think that's a step for us, for the youth wise, to see that all of us are like actually invested. Because I remember like when Donald Trump was first elected, it wasn't like, I think no one really cared for real, like our age. Everyone was just like, oh, this, you know, Obama's not president anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
But like people were making jokes of it. They were like Biden in 7, all that. So I thought it was kind of funny. And I think it's good to see like the youth actually invested in what's going on in our
Exactly.
country.
Yeah, they're really involved this time, man.
Aren't they still partying?
I seen I was watching CNN, and they had somebody in Philly, and like all you see is just like 100 like black people just around the camera, and they were just partying and dancing. It was hilarious.
Oh, they got their masks on.
Did you see the thing in the Philippines where they made his arms into swastikas, and then they spun it, and they set him on fire. And I think one was in Atlanta where they had you know that boxing thing that you have, and then like one holds the bottom part of it down because like you fill it with sand or water to make it heavy, and then you punch it and it comes back up. Yeah, they had that, but they made it into Trump.
But they just take turns on it?
Yeah, in a circle, and they just went and they teamed it, and they start. One guy was on a bike, and he threw his bike on it. Yes, and they were just wailing on it, and like so many different people. I was thinking it was COVID, but you know.
Well, yeah, but I mean, they need to kind of chill with the parties because of COVID. But I saw a tweet that said, you know, you did your job wrong when half of the country rejoices when you're fired.
Not even half of the country.
Well, half of the world.
Yeah.
Most of the world.
Yeah, they had fireworks in England. They lit the Eiffel Tower up in rainbow colors.
Whoa.
because he was out of office.
Yeah, I think the first shot of like the White House, all you saw was just like 3 gay pride flags just waving around.
Yeah.
That's great.
And even the Statue of Liberty was lit up in blue.
Wow.
That was insane because
I want to see more Trump sad pics. He lost his orange glow, bro. Last pic that they took of him, he was gray. It was hilarious.
He was gray, and then he was in his car.
It's crazy to see like how much of a sore loser he was throughout the whole thing. Like he was saying stop the count, and now I was just thinking to myself like, realize if they stop the count now, you're still gonna lose.
Yeah, and
when he said that all Biden needed was Nevada, and he was leading at the time.
He was leading in Nevada and not Pennsylvania at that moment, but he ended up flipping those.
The fact that he flipped like Georgia. Oh my God.
That was insane.
I never expected that.
I never thought that Georgia would technically be the most progressive state in the South. That is insane.
Yeah, it's because of Atlanta and Savannah. And,
I think when I was looking at it and seeing like how close it was, I'm just waiting for those Atlanta votes to come in.
For real, like I was up basically all night that night, and I was there like the whole time as it was flipping, and like Trump on election day when he visited Georgia, he said I shouldn't even be here because I'm gonna get this.
Yeah. Yeah.
And he ate his words.
Yeah, I remember seeing on some people's Instagram them going to the rallies. And then I was like, okay. I didn't expect Georgia to be flipped. I did not expect that.
Not going into it, I'm just like, okay, so we're gonna lose Georgia, but we can still win with Nevada, and then
exactly. I didn't think we were gonna get Pennsylvania or Georgia. I was like, okay, if Nevada wins, we got it, and Arizona. So I was just confident in that. But wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And also like in 2016, most of us and people our age now, they would have not known what an electoral college was or how it operated.
Exactly.
But like everybody's just so invested in it because we all hate Donald Trump.
Yeah, I remember for a fact that I did not know what was going on in 2016. And I was just like, because all I saw was Hillary Clinton had won the popular vote, and I'm like, so why isn't she in office?
Yeah, exactly.
Because I didn't even know what electoral college votes were at the time.
And that made me grow to hate the electoral college.
Yeah,
I mean it's still broken. I think it should be decided by the people because the original purpose was it was for since America was so big and there was no internet like back in the 1700s, it was so that people wouldn't be misinformed, and if information about a president couldn't get in, representatives could represent people in that area because you're in these big states. But now it's to the point where it's like there's the internet, social media, and obviously mail-in systems. You don't need the electoral college anymore because anybody who wants to be educated will be educated themselves.
And plus, the people in the electoral college can also switch.
They can do whatever they want.
They can do whatever they want.
They're not obligated to. There's no law against it.
And electoral college is also made up of mostly the 1%.
Yeah.
Those are the people.
Of course, and that's why I was nervous about this one is because by all means, since they're 1%, they would want to vote for Donald Trump because of Biden's tax thing. That was my biggest issue. I was like, they really could just do whatever they want. Could go anyway, but
I was at work when this happened, and when I saw him give his president-elect speech, I was in disbelief because
it still doesn't feel real to me.
Mentally, I was prepared for Trump to win.
I've been prepared for Trump to win since 2017.
Yeah, and that morning, when I didn't really know what was going on either, when I was because this was 8th grade, wasn't it? When he won. And my mom came in the room and she was like, Pumpkin, unfortunately, Trump had won the election and it's okay. And then immediately the next week later, he's on some beef with North Korea.
Yeah. And then banning Muslims.
Yeah.
In 8th grade, we were just thinking like, oh, I guess, just another president.
Yeah, but I thought I was gonna die because of the thing with North Korea.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah, immediately.
Yeah. There's just been so much.
A lot has happened, but it's went by extremely slow.
Yeah.
That is the craziest part.
My mom said this is the worst presidency she's lived through, and she's in her 50s. Like,
oh my gosh, she lived through
she lived through Reagan, Bush,
Nixon.
Wait, what? I don't know. Maybe.
Nixon.
But She still says it's the worst one she's lived through.
Nixon was. Nixon was.
You guys didn't see that, but
You can
David
type in Nixon.
Nixon.
David
Yeah.
had something.
I'm trying to
pull it up on his laptop.
Richard Nixon, the
Very
37th
interesting.
president of the United States. Born 1913, presidential term 1969 through
Oh, yeah,
1974.
Mhm.
So your mom was probably like really young.
Yeah, it didn't matter. She wasn't lie. She wasn't like conscious about it.
Yeah,
She
exactly.
lived through all that, and this has been the worst one. Because the fact is that Donald Trump kicked up so much hatred. It was already there, but he kicked it up and enabled it.
One thing that kept on ticking me off is like because I was, just to see what he said, I was subscribed to him on Twitter, and just to see whatever he said. But he always talked about the radical left,
Yeah, radical left.
and it was just so toxic.
Yeah, like some of the stuff he said, it was just like, he just sounds like a child too
Yeah.
sometimes. And like
Stop the vote.
when he was referring to COVID, like in the early stages, he would just say, he was saying like the Chinese virus and everything.
Yeah.
Now he is right. The Kung flu.
Yeah,
The
like
Kung flu.
it's just like, dude, what are we? Like,
Yeah.
This is this is the person that runs our country.
Dude. Yeah, exactly. But then he PC'd it down to the Chinese virus.
Yeah,
Oh
like
my
the
God.
Kung flu, then it's the Chinese virus, and then like every
Oh.
time someone would try to correct him on it, he would like, no, I'm right. It
Yeah.
comes from China. It's a virus.
Once
It's a Chinese virus.
Once he got it, the president of China called it the White House virus.
What? The White House virus?
Because once Trump got it.
That's funny. Well, guys, this has been awesome,
It's been amazing. Good experience.
and this has been The Standard, brought to you by KBCN
The Standard.
Studios, and we shall see you next time. Thank you so much for tuning into this episode of The Standard.
오빤 강남스타일 강남스타일 오빤 강남스타일
Ways that you have to go to show your troops Call me when I'm lonely, but you should know I'm never gonna let you be the one to go away.